Hey there, it's Chaya, back with another episode of Naked, the Messy Middle Edition. Wow. Today I want to talk about such a big topic, and there's a part of me that's really resisting talking about it because it kind of wants to hold on to it a little longer before sharing. But this is the messy middle, which means I want to show you how it gets created, how it gets ironed out, all the details, how the actual process of rubbing diamonds against each other looks, rather than the end result and creating, this is what I learned over 10 years. No, let me show you how I'm learning it. And this is what I want to talk about: abundance. See, a couple of days ago I talked about resisting abundance, and then I realized I'm talking about resistance, which means I'm bringing the focus right on resisting abundance instead of, what about if I talk about accepting abundance, opening up to abundance, letting love take over, opening up to the flow. See, because that's what I'm really focusing on. And I'm here today to tell you about that. I'm here today to share with you not just the struggles, but also the focus that I've been having the last while, and how I've been really, on some level, acing it just by coming back to that focus consistently. See, abundance was always something that I wanted, but never believed can really exist for me. I would create this alternate reality in which I had everything, but when it came down to what I believed I can actually get, that wasn't in my belief system. That was in my dream system. That was in my goal system. That was always where I wanted to go, but it was never for real. It was never something I can believe in my brain, in my heart, in my soul, that it was ever going to be mine, that I would ever walk outside and feel like, wow, I'm okay. The world is taking care of me. The money is going to come wherever it's going to come from. This is going to be taken care of. That's going to be taken care of. And I brought up the money because the money was the biggest thing for me. But I'm not going to specifically talk about money, because money is not the only thing that abundance includes. Abundance includes just a feeling taken care of, a feeling like I have more than just being taken care of. And it's more than just a feeling. It's a reality in which everything is flowing in a manner that takes care of you, that takes care of all the things you need. So I'm thinking how to do this in a way that I can portray what I really want to portray. So I'm going to back it up to when I was very little. You see, when we're little, we tend to dream things without needing for reality to be there. And I remember sitting there, and I would lie in my bed, and I would dream. I would dream big. I would dream about all the things I wanted, and it didn't cost me a thing to dream. So I dreamt as big as I wanted, and I dreamt of that feeling most of all. I had all these beautiful things, but the biggest thing that I loved sitting in was the feeling of being enough. Part of abundance, part of accepting abundance, the biggest part of it is actually feeling enough. Now, I'm going to talk about feeling enough another time, but I want to make sure that you hear that. Because if you don't feel enough, how are you ever going to accept everything that comes your way if they're bigger than you? If you're not enough, everything that comes your way that's abundance is going to make you actually feel less worthy and make you feel like you need to work for it as opposed to accept it. Do you hear that? So what I'm here to remind you is, if you want abundance to show up and you're not yet in that space, start by recognizing you're enough. The first step I ever did, and the first step I always do whenever I think of abundance and I feel like I need a reset, the first step I do is start looking at my worthiness, my deserving. And I tell myself, if I don't feel enough right now, I will not be able to step up, show up there, and actually do it. It's just the reality of it. I'm not going to be able to do whatever it takes to make abundance show up. I'm not going to be able to accept abundance, not make abundance show up. Abundance is always there. Abundance is waiting for you to open the door more. And if you aren't able to accept the abundance you have right now, it ain't opening up more. now I feel really messy because the more I talk about this, something is waking up inside of me. I'm not sure what. And it's like I'm losing my consciousness of my presence of what I'm talking about. And since this is the messy middle, I want to explore it and see what's coming up for me. I guess there's a part of me, the part that doesn't think I'm enough, that's talking right now and saying, like, how can you talk about this when you're not, the most abundant person out there? You don't have just everything flowing the way you dream of, and you haven't yet reached that level of abundance. And that's why I'm here to remind that part and tell you, yes, that's true. I don't have fancy cars and jets in the sky right now that are mine. But this is the messy middle. And I want to show you. I want you to, whether you're seeing it now or you're seeing it in the future, when I do have whatever it is I have that shows abundance, I want you to have the opportunity to see where it started and how I'm doing it. What were the steps I took? Where did I fall? I want you to see the process. I want to give you the opportunity to see the parts that I always wished I could see on, let's say, Tony Robbins and Mel Robinson and all these big, beautiful people who I want to see. How did you become that? Don't show me the pretty after. Show me the ugly before. And I wish I did. I wish I saw when Tony Robbins was, living in a 1-bedroom apartment and felt depressed as blah, and I wish he took out a camera and he showed it. Now, I'm not saying I'm going to be the next Tony Robbins. That's not what I'm saying. I'm going to be the next Chaya Shimon. The only Chaya Shimon. And I'm going to, well, soon to be Azulai, I guess. But I would like that you see it. That you see the progress. Because I do. And I know it's happening. And well, there are days where I don't see it because I'm so close to it. But I want it to be documented here so that you see the messy middle. So you can keep going. So right now I don't have everything, but I have everything I need for right now. That's what abundance feels like. Well, that's what being taken care of feels like. Abundance is that step further. Those little moments in which you look around and you're like, oh my God, I have more than what I need. I'm being so well taken care of right now. This is amazing. Now, I want to make sure that during those moments, there's acceptance to it rather than rejection, okay? Rather than resisting it. I want to make sure there's acceptance, and therefore, I'm here to remind you, you cannot accept something you don't feel worthy of. You will always end up rejecting it. So, let's start working on your worthiness. Let's start working on our worthiness. How do we make ourselves feel worthy? How do we make ourselves feel good enough? Now, if you haven't thought about that before, I want to leave you off with that because that is key. And if you have thought about it, think about it again. That's a question that you can ask forever for the rest of your life, and the answer will keep changing and it'll keep evolving into something bigger and better and greater on ways that you can make sure that you are moving forward into believing that you deserve everything that you dream of. Because if you dream of it and you don't think you're deserving of it, you will never accept it. Do you understand that? You will never be happy when you get it. Because it'll just be proof of more of how undeserving you are, how unworthy you are. It'll give you more reason to work harder. I don't want that for you. I don't want that for me. I want that when it shows up, I say, yeah, I was waiting for this. This is what I was waiting for. And I'm not just saying it. Every part of my heart opens up. Every part of me says, this is good. I am good enough. I am deserving. So, today, I want you to ponder on this. I invite you to ponder on this. I invite you to take a pen and paper and write down on the top of it, what makes me feel that I am worthy, that I am deserving? What are the things I can do? And I want you to take a few moments and think about it. And think, what is it? How do you know you're worthy? How do you know you're deserving? And if you're faltering and you don't have a straight up answer, then look back at that page. Look back at the top. What can I do to make myself feel worthy? And start doing those things. It can be self-care. It could be nurturing. It could be eating better, sleeping better. It could be, everyone has a different definition of what can make you feel worthy. Taking time away for yourself, taking one day a week, do it, whatever it is. Whatever it is. It works. It really works slowly. When you give yourself what you want other people to give you to prove that you're worthy, that's the ultimate transition into worthiness. The more you give yourself that what you deserve, the more you start believing you deserve. Wouldn't that be cool? Wouldn't it be cool if suddenly you start feeling worthy and deserving, and suddenly you start inviting abundance in? Alright, so if you haven't yet, you know you want to. So go subscribe right now. If you like this video, please like it. I will see you soon. Enjoy.